Happy October, everybody. So I am a few days tardy, forgive me. As many of you know, I've been hosting my annual Transcend Trauma online event. And if you're interested, you can still register for that at the link below this video. So for those that are new, I'm Tanya Stevens, formerly Tanya Penny, and I'm a mind-body healing guide, a spiritual mentor, and author of the Connect with the Divine You book and journals, and creator of the Evolve Self-Healing Method. And every month, I do a short video giving you some insights and guidance. I would say a little bit of astrology, a tarot card reading, and then just some other things that I'm guided to share with you. So first of all, I just want to say that this is a really intense time. And I know that I feel like I say this every month, but right now we are in probably one of the most intense periods of all of it. And as many of you who are watching, listening, know that just this past week, we had shutdown of the US government. And yes, a lot of chaos, a lot of fear is being stirred up. And I just want to remind everybody very gently, right, that from a spiritual perspective, all of this that's happening is for the good of all. And what I mean by that is to wake people up. And we often will not wake up unless we have something very big, a lot of contrast, a lot of pain. And so that can look personal, right? Maybe an illness, a diagnosis, symptom flares, other life breakdowns, or it can be collective, a bigger event like this US government thing that's happening, as well as natural disasters, all of the stuff that's happening planet-wide, right? That involves more than just you or more than just your family. So as best as you can, stay out of fear. And I know that is so challenging some days. Everybody that's watching this, you are sensitive, you are an empath, whether you are aware of that or not. And we need to be even more cautious at this time, even more careful with managing our energies. We unconsciously pick up not only our family stuff and our friend stuff, but collective, right? So if you've been feeling more fear this past week, there's a good reason why. You probably are more linked in, connected to the collective fear that is big right now. And so what can you do, right? What can we do? Well, number one, it's just acknowledging, right? This emotion, this fear in this case, is not just mine. And then we can choose to use tools. So what I teach in my community is a simple breath practice you can use with just the intention, I'm going to breathe out other people's stuff. I'm going to breathe in more of me, more of my energy, more of my essence, calling it back to me. Because when we're in worry and when we're in fear about the external, our energy goes out there. So I recommend for most empaths, highly sensitive people, again, all of you listening probably are, or you wouldn't be here, that you don't watch the news. Or if you do, you watch it very minimally and not in the morning and not at bedtime, more during the middle of the day, so that you have time to bring your nervous system back down, right? Because pretty much everything on the news is here to trigger your fear. So ultimately, these things, again, are happening to wake us up. And when you're triggered, to ask yourself, what in my life, what unhealed trauma or wound from my past is calling for deeper healing? Because that's almost always the case. It could be dad wound, it could be mom wound, it could be sibling wound, it could be some other wound. But ultimately, everything that's happening now externally, that is why it is happening. For a calling for us to heal on a deeper level, because that wound has still been impacting you, holding you back from fully living your soul's purpose, from fully receiving, giving and receiving love in every single form, co-creating your heaven on earth, however you want to phrase it. We are here to bring down the spiritual and fully integrate that into the human body. So I'm going to be talking more about that with the card that we have for this month. But I just felt really guided to start with that. You can also use a guided therapeutic meditation practice of mine with the intention to release other people's stuff. I highly recommend to do that at least at bedtime as you are falling asleep. It doesn't require any extra time. Remembering that not only our own stuffed emotions, but taking on others' emotions create illness in the body, create dis-ease, disease, negative symptoms. So if your symptoms have been flaring like mine have, right? My GI flared again this week. And I know part of it was the event and the busyness with it. But I know it was also this collective, what's happening in the US for sure. So needing more tools for grounding, for clearing, etc. right now. And if you don't have access to my therapeutic meditation practice, you can get a sample practice by signing up for my Evolve Starter Kit that is below this video. Okay, let's continue. So I want to back up a little bit. September was all about eclipse season. We had 2 big eclipses, and the last one was in Virgo. So we want to ask ourselves, right? And last month we had the shadow card, which went perfectly with the eclipse season. And I pull these cards at the beginning of the year, December 31st, for this next year. So I have no idea what's going on when I pull these cards. So it's kind of scary how spot on they are. So we had eclipse season, and the thing you want to reflect on is, what did you learn? How did you grow this past month? What did you realize? What did you release? What did you receive during this eclipse season? I know for myself that I released deeper layers of perfection, not good enough. And that has to do with the Virgo sign, so the last eclipse sign. The new moon Virgo eclipse, that was on, it was like September 21st or 22nd. So again, reflecting on, what did I learn? How did I grow? What did I realize? What did I release? What did I receive in September? And knowing that these eclipse energies are going to continue for some of us through the next couple of months, up to 6 months, they can still be impacting us and causing us to make these changes we're being guided to make. We are also in Libra season. So whether your sun is in Libra or not, we are all in Libra season right now. So you might even want to get your birth chart, a free birth chart if you haven't already, and look at what number house your Libra is in. That's going to give you a clue as to what your focus is during Libra season. I love to go to the Pattern app. It's free. There's a paid and a free version. I like the free version. That's what I use. Tons of information, and we'll give you your birth chart and so many other good things as well, the Pattern app. So Libra is all about balance. Balance within yourself. And I'm going to say balance within your schedule, work, rest, healing, and playtime. Also balance of your divine masculine, your masculine and feminine energies. Are those in balance? Or are you more in the shadow, masculine and feminine? Maybe you've totally cut off the feminine, like many of us have been conditioned to do. So we want to look at that. And then we're also wanting to look at our balance within relationships, personal and work. Are they equal? Are they, when I say equal, giving and receiving? Not just what most of my clients find themselves in is they are constantly overgiving in their relationships and not receiving like even a quarter when they come through my doors. That's one of the things we really work on. So balance within yourself, balance with others, collaboration and connection. Libra's all about that. And making sure it's balanced, it's equal, it's fair, it's just. So again, you may want to look at your house number that your Libra sign is in for more guidance as to what area of your life specifically that's impacting the most. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the tarot card for October. And I pulled from the Syrian Starseed Tarot deck. And this month, Higher Self was pulled. So what is our higher self and how do we access it? So I also consider my higher self my soul. Right? Not my human self, but my soul, the part of me that has the bigger picture, has deeper wisdom, whereas my human part, right, is typically the part that holds all of my conditioning, all of my beliefs, all of my fears. And again, we are here in this lifetime, every single one of us, to bring and fully embody the soul while we are living our human experience, right? So integrating human soul. So this card is asking us to have a deeper spiritual understanding, to move into a deeper spiritual understanding that we are more than human. We're not victims. We are powerful souls that have come here for the purpose to heal, learn, grow, and evolve. That is our main, everyone on the planet, their main purpose. And then, of course, we all have very unique, special purpose related to that. So our higher self, or our soul, is ruled by the moon. It's intuition. It's deeper wisdom coming through this month. Right? So you're going to receive hopefully more soul guidance, more clarity. What is your soul desire, your soul's purpose in this lifetime? And not just receiving the wisdom, but then putting it into action, which can be even more challenging because it's going to stir up our human. It's going to stir up all of our unresolved wounds, all of our survival patterns, perfection, people pleasing, pretending to be superhuman. And so we're going to be, again, called on a deeper level to heal these wounds so that we can open more to our higher self, our spiritual, our soul, and those truths. Again, balance is key. So I talk a lot about, our soul and our human self and integrating, but also being that divine parent to yourself, that divine mother and father that we're all learning and practicing to be. That is part of everyone's purpose on this planet as well, a general soul purpose that we all came here to work on together, right? And where have you been playing victim still? Where have you been blaming others? So we may be victimized by others, but we are in no way a victim, because we have asked on a soul level for every experience. So even as and we're going to be doing this tomorrow in my abandonment and betrayal workshop. Again, you can find the link below this video if you'd like to still join us for that, or at least receive the replay, because maybe you're listening to this later. But we are here to, yes, heal these unresolved wounds. And one of the ways we do that is stepping into our divine parent shoes and using what I call the self-healing process to do this. Other things as well, other divine parent training. But then also to, from a soul level, a spiritual perspective, be able to look at these wounds and what gift or what lesson did we want this experience for? What were we hoping to learn? What were we hoping to overcome through this experience, this quote unquote negative experience, wound, or trauma? So some questions. What is my soul showing me? And it could be the truth about a certain situation that you're struggling with or have been struggling with this month. How am I connecting to my higher self so I can find the answers? So one of the easiest ways that we can connect to our higher self is by having alone time in alone time in nature, as well as using guided meditation, breath practices, prayer, journaling, etc. Right? There's lots of different tools to connect to our higher self. And again, one of the ways that we can access our higher self, our soul wisdom more and more is by healing the wounds, because fear is the number one block to receiving your soul's guidance and following it. So, some other questions. What hidden knowledge can I access if I still my ego mind? What forces, what divine forces are at play that I have yet to understand? So deeper spiritual truths being embodied this month, deeper soul truths, soul wisdom coming through. And that can only happen if we soothe our fears, step into those divine parent shoes, soothe the fears, shift those limiting beliefs. That is the only way. So, a few other astrological things that are important this month. We have a full moon in Aries coming up on October 6th. So Aries, again, you're going to want to look at what number house sign in your birth chart that your Aries sign is in. Everybody has Aries, and just like everyone has all of the signs in their chart. Aries is a fire sign. It is the warrior. It is the leader. It is, on the shadow side, it can be pushy and insensitive, but the light side, right? The light side of Aries is it's fire, it's doing, it's standing up for what one believes. Being a warrior for yourself and what you're here to do on the planet, your values, etc. So it's all about action, activism, and autonomy, sovereignty. And we also then have the new moon this month around the 21st, depending on where you live, in Libra. And again, Libra is all about balance. Everything I said before, balance within yourself, balance in relationships, personal and professional. New moons are all about new beginnings. Full moons are all about shining the light on what is the shadow stuff, the wounds that need deeper healing. So in a nutshell, that is what's happening this month. That is the focus for us this month. And for those that are in my Evolved Journey community, whether you're in my free community or in my program, and in my program, obviously, we go a lot deeper. But this month, we are focusing on, for the first time, your sacred sexuality key. So this has to do with your gender and any gender wounds, right? Male wounds, female wounds, belief systems connected to being a man or a woman, and of course, sexuality in terms of intimacy with ourself and our body and with others. And of course, those wounds as well. A lot of people I work with have sexual abuse wounds. You know, what I'm coming to find is most people on the planet have some sort of sexual abuse wound. Even if it was criticism or verbally, right, about your body and your sexuality. So we're going to be diving deeper this month into healing those wounds so that we can have healthy sexuality, feel worthy about whatever gender we are, and all the good stuff that goes with that. And what's interesting, going back to astrology, on the 22nd, 23rd of this month, we move into the sign of Scorpio. All of us are going to be affected by that. Scorpio is a water sign. Scorpio has to do with desire. What do you desire? What is your soul desire? It's the therapist, it's transformation, it's the healer. And on the shadow side, it can be jealousy, power hungry, controlling. The body part associated with Scorpio is the genitals. I did not know that when I chose to have this month be this key. Crazy, right? And Libra, which the sun is in now, has to do with the head. And when I think of the head, I think about our mental, our limiting beliefs and fears. So again, you're going to want to look at what house number your Libra sign's in, your Aries sign for the full moon, and then your Scorpio when we move into that later this month. And again, just a really gentle reminder to carve out time every day to do grounding, centering, clearing other people's energy, purging the old so you can open to the new. Purging, healing, whatever words you want to use, right? And, the oil that's really coming through this month, one of the oils is lavender. And lavender is actually the oil of communication. So expressing our soul's truth, setting and keeping boundaries with others, right? When things are out of balance, being able to speak your truth. So lavender, as well as, I'm going to say clary, what's coming in is clary sage. And that is the oil that has to do with soul connection, soul vision. So you might want to work with those two oils this month. And you might also find benefit to buy the Emotions and Oils book. So I will put a link to that below this video as well. You can buy it on Amazon. It gives the emotional qualities, mental emotional qualities for all the oils. So thank you so much for listening to this. Feel free to share it with those that you feel would benefit. And if you would like more of my support and find the things that I mentioned this month a little earlier, you can look below this video. Sending you lots of love, lots of courage. Please keep going. Do not give up. You are so close, right? You are so close. We are so close to that next level, which will help us to have more love, more joy, and more peace. So thank you for doing the work. Sending you lots of love. Namaste.